try this again by hand. So I'm going to open up VS Code, and in here the first thing that I need to do is to configure VS Code in order to run my Python programs. So I'm going to come over here onto the top left hand side, and I'm going to click on the extensions icon, and when I click on that, it's going to bring up a variety of different extensions. I'm going to click into the search bar, and I'm going to type in Python, and it's going to bring me up a variety of different Python extensions that I could add. This first one right here at the very top is the Python language support, and if I click on it, it's going to show me some rather detailed summary of that extension. And then if you'll notice up here, because I already installed it for the video, there would be an install button in here if it was not already installed. And once I click on that, then it would install it, and it will bring me back to the welcome page. Since this is the second time that I have done that, notice my welcome screen looks a little bit differently. But what I'm going to do is create a new project folder in order to store my files in. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to my documents, and from here I'm going to create a new folder. So maybe I'll call this CS1 Python. So I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to select that folder. And you'll notice in my Explorer, there is the name of that file right there, CS1. So inside of here, the next thing I'm going to do inside of my CS1 folder, or the folder that I just created, if I click on that, notice the icons. When I have that folder selected, I'm going to click on the icon that says New File. It's right up here on the right-hand side of that folder label. If I click on New File, then it's going to open up a bar where I'm going to type in the name of the file. So maybe I'll call this Hello Again, because we already wrote the Hello World program, right? But then I need to make sure that it is called .py. Make sure that it is a .py file name extension. Now, if you'll notice, I named the file with no spaces between hello and again. So if I press enter, now I see in my text editor that is now open across the top, I can see that I have my welcome tag still open, and now I have my file, Hello Again file, open. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to write a Python program. So I'm pretty sure that if you were following along in the video before, we learned that it is print. I'm going to put some parentheses in here, and inside of the parentheses I'm going to put double quotes, and I'm going to say, oh, my caps lock is on. I'm going to say hello again. I'm going to put an exclamation point because this is all very exciting. And once I'm ready to run that, if I have named it appropriately, there should be a run icon on the top right hand side of my screen. If I run it, then I will be able to see the program run with the code that is running. Now I can resize the terminal screen. I can also resize the Explorer screen to make it a little bit smaller to give me a little bit more room. I can resize that. Let's add one more thing to this. We're going to see if we can personalize this greeting. So in order to personalize it, I'm going to ask them what their name is. So I'm going to go to the front of this print statement. I will tab it down, and then I'm going to create a variable called name. I'm going to set it equal to input. The input needs the two parentheses as well. And inside of there, I'm going to type a statement something like, what is your name, with a question mark. And what it's going to do is it's going to take their answer, put it in the variable called name, and then instead of just saying hello again, I'm going to say hello again, and then outside of the parentheses, I'm going to put a comma, and then type in that variable. And if I did this right, it should take whatever they input for the question, put it into that variable called name, and then it is going to say hello again name. So I want a comma separator between those two. I'm going to run it one more time. It should prompt me for a name, and then it should say hello again, Allison. All right, so my punctuation isn't quite right, but you get the idea. So now you should be able to start writing additional programs with VS Code in Python.